Madame Dalgleish is investigating the murder of a Greek Cypriot drug racketeer. Sally Jupp, an unmarried mother who found the body, is working as a home help for Eleanor Maxey and her gravely ill husband, Simon. Their son, Stephen, a doctor, is keen on Sally and doesn't want the burden of keeping up the family's large, decaying country house. Their daughter, Deborah, has crossed swords with Dalgleish. Sally has been followed and threatened by the murdered man's associates.
Oh, Mrs. Maxey.
I saw your light on. Thought you might be feeding Jimmy. Brought you a cup of tea. Shall I put it here?
Thanks. How's Mr. Maxey?
Oh, marginally better, I think. But what about you, Sally? I thought you seemed rather upset this evening. I hope it's nothing to do with us or your work here.
No, Mrs. Maxey, no.
While you're here, I'm bound to feel responsible for you. Oh, I know you're independent, and I wouldn't interfere in the ordinary way.
You are interfering, Mrs. Maxey.
Is someone frightening you?
It doesn't matter.
Look, if someone's frightening you or threatening you, shouldn't you go to the police?
It's very kind of you to worry about me, but I'll be all right, honestly.
One can't always cope when one's on one's own. There are limits, then you crack. Oh, I've never asked you this before, but perhaps I should have done. But couldn't Jimmy's father help you in some kind of way?
He's... Oh, I don't know. He doesn't matter just now. I don't think about him much. It's better not.
Does he know about Jimmy?
He knows.
And he's left you to manage on your own?
You don't understand about ordinary people, Mrs. Maxey.
Oh, well, you won't put me off like that, Sally. Oh, you're tired. I'll leave you to get some sleep. I hope Jimmy settles down all right.
He's very good, considering.
Yes. Yes, he is. Good night. Enjoy your lunch with Felix, darling.
Oh, there won't be time for that. I shall have to cancel, Felix, after all.
Surely you can allow yourself a little relaxation.
Oh, my day in the office is always frantic. Oh, Mummy, you look so tired.
Now, go along. You've got appointments.
You sure you can manage?
Yes, of course. Oh, I should never have let you give up your life in London. You must go back to working full-time. Just come down here at weekends or when you can.
You know that's impossible.
Daddy's condition is improving, darling. Charles is really quite pleased with his progress. He's getting stronger and his responses are better.
Oh, you've always been a realist, Mummy. Don't change now.
Go along, darling. You'll be late. I hope you don't have to put off your lunch with Felix. Goodbye, darling. See you tonight. Drive carefully.
We are totally at sixes and sevens. We farmed out most of our packing to Hudson and Corbett next door. Well, they offered, which was most awfully kind.
Miss Malpass.
Oh, yes, this woman.
Did you caught him yet?
What?
Well, a killer, who else? You want to remove your digit from his orifice, mate.
You know something I don't? What's your business here?
No, hang about. I'm the publisher's next door. I've been running the bleeding shuttle service since we started taking this lot's packing.
And when did you start doing their packing?
Well, the afternoon of the murder. Yeah, the old lady comes in and has a little word with the governor. Turns on the weebies. Turns them off the minute he says he'll help her out. But we can't let our clients down, she says. Have to get the day's quota on the road. Really bothered about it, she was. Well, you'd think it was top quality first editions, not remain a book club cheapies.
So you're a packer in the warehouse next door?
Hey, do you mind? Apprentice messenger. Yeah, it's known as job creation. Ha ha. 2 more months of this lot, and I'll be out on the dole again. It's a gas, innit? But I'll see you later, Chief, all right?
No, she definitely never came here. Well, to my knowledge, that is.
John, Miss Malpass doesn't seem to recognise her.
No, nor does Miss Crum.
Stavros seems to have kept his two lives carefully apart. I mean, his flat, just like his job here, was very modest.
Well, I thought drug traffickers made millions. So where can Stavros's money have gone?
Well, that's what we want to ask her.
Cherchez la femme.
I don't think it's as simple as that. I mean, if she'd been a member of the underworld, we'd have known about her, I suspect.
So what happens to us now? We've had a murder and a break-in, so what about our security?
Well, when the boy broke in with the keys, we followed him rather quickly.
Not so quickly that it didn't turn the basement upside down. Well, you had to see what he'd do. You also had to search the whole building, including this office. You put things to rights very nicely, but you surely didn't think I wouldn't notice. My books and files got a well-earned dusting. I hope you're not intending to charge me for the service. I think I ought to know what you're looking for if you need my help. Now, this boy, what was he?
A drug addict. Forced into it by one of Veludis's gang.
What for?
He was looking for the records, which Stavros may have hidden on these premises. Now, his associates would be very keen to get their hands on them before we do. They could be in the form of a file or of notebooks with lists of contacts, clients, couriers, phone numbers, etc. Anything that turns up that doesn't seem to fit in with book club business, even if it's something very trivial, please let us know.
I will, Superintendent. If it's only for the pleasure of seeing you again.
Oh,
Goodbye.
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 We just got word. Nicky Alexio's back from Cyprus.
Good, where's he now?
Veludis's flat. We've got him under surveillance.
Excellent.
Oh, Martha, I thought if it brightens up today, we'll try and get Mr. Maxey out into the garden. What do you think?
Don't suppose he'll take much notice. We've got him out on the couch, though. Jup's changed his sheet. She's cleaned the bathroom now.
Martha, I told you yesterday you cannot go on calling Sally by her surname. It's pre-First World War.
Well, I am pre-First War.
She's not a servant, she's a home help.
She's tough as a nut and clever. Cunning as a wagon load of monkeys.
I don't think she's very happy, and that's all the more reason why we should try and treat her like one of the family.
Well, I never shall. Though Dr. Stephen would like to, I'd say.
Stephen, what do you mean?
I wouldn't put nothing past that one. With her bedroom eyes.
Oh, you're imagining things.
I need to speak to Dr. Stephen Maxey. It's urgent. Can you page him? Please. Thank you. Come on. Come on.
Sally, you're on the phone.
It's just a local call. I couldn't get through anyway. It's to my friend Annie at the refuge. I wouldn't call long distance without asking you, Mrs. Maxey.
No, of course not. But if you do need to use the phone, use the one in the kitchen and jot down the call in the book.
Is there a money box too?
I think you know there isn't. I don't expect you to pay for all local calls, but we do keep a record to check against the bills which mount up.
Sorry.
It's all right. So long as we know where we stand.
Yes, of course. I better go and get on with the ironing. Pardon me for living.
Oh, yes. Yes, I agree. No. No, all we're really saying is that, well, while we can't take this particular manuscript of yours, especially in today's economic climate, oh, damn, I'm sorry. Could you hold the line just 1 second? So sorry. Yes? Oh, Felix, not you again. Please, I told you, no lunch. Oh, very well, you win. Yes, 1 o'clock. Right. But I've got a meeting at 2. I'm so sorry. What was I saying? At last. It's obviously going to be one of those days. No, where was I?
Heavens. Now what have they sent us?
What?
Hudson and Corbett. This got mixed up in our last batch of books, apparently, and they've sent it back. Most conscientious of them.
Not very bright, I'd say.
There's nothing on it. I wonder. I think I'd better let the police know about this. Judy? Scotland Yard, please.
Well, there's just nothing else for it. We shall have to have one last committee meeting for the church fete on Friday. Oh, and that means Sir Reynold Price. He always looks at everything as if he's making an infantry. Did I tell you Felix Hurst rang up? He's coming for the weekend. I like him. I wonder if he and Deborah will ever make a go of it. I hope so. She does seem to have got over Edward's death, doesn't she? Poor Edward. You became quite fond of him in the end, didn't you? Although at first you couldn't stand him. Admit it, my darling, you terrified him. Not the sort of man you wanted for your daughter. Then you realized just how right he was for her. Dear. Oh, this silly old fate. People do like it, though. They'd miss it if we stopped. Wouldn't they, darling?
Nasty little fibber told me he'd only just learned to swim and then did 100 lengths.
100 at £1 a leg.
Yes, I had to cough up. Last time I sponsor a godson, however good the cause.
Oh, Felix, you are nice.
Thank you. I'd say the same of you if I saw you more often.
Well, you know where to find me.
Exactly. That's why I've invited myself down for this weekend. I spoke to your mother this morning.
You might have asked me first.
What, and be fobbed off with excuses?
What excuses?
Oh, you'd be busy, wouldn't have time for me.
I won't. We've got the church fete.
I know. I'm going to help. Your mother's put me onto one of the stands. I'll show you some high-powered salesmanship, tricks of the bazaar. Didn't spend 6 years sweating in the Gulf States for nothing. On the other hand, if you want to put me off, you can always tell me that your brother doesn't like me, that your mother thinks I'm too old for you.
Well, Mummy likes you.
And that you didn't want to see me today.
Because of work.
You've still got 8.5 minutes.
You and your military precision.
Old habits die hard. Besides, I value my minutes with you. Every minute, you know that. Tell me more about this girl you've just taken on. What's her name?
Sally Jupp.
You were saying that Martha is hugely put out, is that right?
Oh, yes. She's gone very tight-lipped about it. I think she'll try and find a way of getting rid of her.
Well, get her into trouble. Or will Stephen do that?
You don't miss a thing, do you?
No, not when it's to do with you. You're not too keen on her either, are you? I assume that's because she's chasing Stephen? How's that nice Catherine Bowers, by the way?
Oh, you and she are a pair. She's invited herself down for the weekend as well.
Oh, good.
To help. To be fair, she does help. She's also still clinging on to Stephen.
And it's hopeless.
Oh, I'm afraid so. I wish I could feel sorry for Catherine, but she seems so determined to get hurt.
Just like me.
Oh, rubbish. It's 6 weeks since you last rang me up, and then you expect me to come out to lunch at half a day's notice.
Well, basically, I'm shy.
You? There, basically, I don't think you're really interested.
Deborah, you know I've got to get this book finished.
Yes, I know.
I must say I can't wait for the weekend. House full of people all hating the sight of one another.
But it isn't as bad as all that.
Well, I hope it is. I'm hoping for a really big explosion. 2 girls chasing Stephen. Stephen not caring for me very much, not bothering to hide it. You and Catherine.
Oh, I don't dislike Catherine. She just irritates me.
And Martha hates Sally. Taken to the baby?
Oh, not as much as we'd hoped.
Oh, better and better. Then there's all those locals, especially that financier fellow. What's he called?
Sir Reynold Price.
And the peculiar Miss Liddell from the refuge. It's an absolute orgy of distrust. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to it. Come on, got 5 minutes, 45 seconds.
Oh, Felix, you are impossible.
What do you mean? Getting you back to work on time. Since getting you to the altar seems to be not quite on for some obscure reason.
Well, maybe you should try proposing one fine day.
Ah, a point. I'll brood on it.
Well, there's more after this, Mr. Welsh. 32 readouts in all.
In that case, I suspect we need 32 keys to break it down.
Random pages from a random book?
Yes, I'm afraid so. At least one thing is certain.
Is it?
Yes, the book will be in Basque, the language of the northernmost corner of Spain.
A sheer incidence of UNXs.
Yes, you know Basque.
No, not really, but even if the keys are in Basque, that doesn't really narrow the field down, does it?
Not much, I agree.
So what next?
Find the book, John.
Valulis' flat.
Take it apart this time.
I think it'd be liked in the States.
If so, we'd print over there, even given the dollar against the pound.
Stephen, hello?
Hello.
John, this is my brother.
Look, I'm sorry, but I really can't make polite noises.
Stephen.
Well, I must be going anyway. I'll give you a ring tomorrow, Deborah. I think you could well be right. We'll talk about it. Yes. Good night.
Go. How dare you barge in like that? You might at least have asked the commissioner.
Look, to hell with that. Deborah, this is serious. Daddy's been organising himself an XviD kit. A lethal dose. He's been saving up his sleeping pills.
He can't have. He needs us to help him take them.
I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about before. He's been saving them up over months.
How do you know? You've been in London. Who told you?
Sally rang me specially. She's very concerned.
Oh.
What do you mean, oh? She found them this morning when she was moving Daddy's bed.
Has she told Mummy?
No, she hasn't. She thought she ought to consult me first as a doctor, and quite right, too.
I bet. How underhand.
It wasn't. It was very sensible of her. In this instance, I was the best person to consult.
So responsible of her. Such concern.
Now, listen, Deborah. She didn't tell Mummy because she didn't want to worry her. In fact, she had to go down to the village and use the call box. You all think the worst of Sally, don't you?
No, we don't. It's just that you're so unaware of everything.
Well, I'm very aware that Daddy hasn't been nursed properly.
He has. For months and months and months. Mummy, Martha, me, day and night.
But none of you have bothered to find out what's been going on inside his mind, have you?
That isn't true. It just isn't. We have tried. We do try. We sit with him, we talk to him. Mummy talks to him for hours on end without a single response most of the time. Just in the hope, Stephen, that he can hear her. We can't tell. You don't know. As you'd know if you'd ever done more than a token half-hour with him. He just lies there. He isn't really Daddy. There's no contact anymore. Oh, come on, I've had a hard day. I'm afraid I need some of Daddy's tablets myself.
It isn't funny.
I was joking.
Now listen, I've done this prescription for you. It's the same drug, but in solution. Give him a tablespoon at night in water.
And Mummy and Martha, what do I tell them?
Well, just tell them I've stopped the pills for the time being.
Yeah, and Charles, who's actually Daddy's GP.
I'll explain it to him at the weekend. I'll give him the last pill tonight, but tomorrow go on to the solution. Oh, and please don't talk to Sally about this.
I wouldn't dream of it. I only hope she'll be as discreet.
That's not fair. Sally is discreet. Why won't you give her the benefit of the doubt? Is it because you're jealous of her and Jimmy?
Jealous?
Well, you've gone a bit sour, haven't you, since Edward died? I mean, if he hadn't, you'd have got at least 2 children of your own by now. Wouldn't you?
You're late. Child must be starving.
Well, he won't have to wait much longer, will you, my love? I suppose there isn't a kettle boiled.
It's there on the stove. I'm not here to wait on you. Where have you been to all this time?
I went over to St Mary's, if you must know.
I found St Mary's when it were past Jimmy's feed time.
You've no right to check up on me. I went for a walk.
Dressed like that. There's something else I want to know. Did you take something from Mr. Maxey's bed when you made it this morning? Something belonging to him?
Yes. Yes, I did. So you knew he had those tablets hidden and you didn't say anything?
Well, of course I knew. I've looked after him for 5 years, haven't I? If you had to lie there year after year in pain, maybe you'd like to think you had something you could take to end it all. Something nobody else knew about. Till a silly little bitch like you come ferreting them out. Very clever, weren't you? I suppose you thought he'd take them. As if he would. He's a gentleman. But you wouldn't understand that. Anyhow, 'tain't none of your business. You give me back those pills, and don't you say a word about this to anyone.
Sorry, can't help you. I threw them away.
I don't believe you.
Ask Stephen, then. I phoned him. It was right he should know. And he told me to throw them away. He won't be pleased when he finds out you knew all the time. Mind you, he thinks you're past it anyway. Poor old Martha can't be trusted anymore.
You're a liar. Dr. Stephen,
You
what
pretend you're so devoted to the family, but you don't give a damn about them except the old man. You should see yourself, washing him, stroking his face, cooing to him like a baby. I'd laugh if it wasn't so pathetic. It's lucky for him he's past noticing. Being mauled about by you would make any normal man sick.
You evil creature. Evil. I'll get rid of you. I'll find a way. Never fear.
He's still in there. A couple of kids have just gone up.
Well, let's go up and see them, shall we?
In here.
John, as far as Mr. Alexiou is concerned, we've cracked the tape, okay?
Okay.
Hey, what do you girl mean? She don't like the flat?
Don't ask me.
It's because of who had it before, Jim.
Hey, you some female liberator or what?
No, it's what the lady downstairs told us.
Look, my old pal Stavros, you not die here, kid. I play level with you, tell you whole history, okay?
28 a week, Vern. It's something we can't refuse.
Hey, you know what? I got other people knocking on the door. 49 phone calls the first hour the ad came out. See what I tell you? I got kids lining up knee-deep out there. Oh?
Mr. Alexiou?
Hey, Nicky, Alex, call me what you like. I am Nikos Alexiou, that's right. Yes?
Please.
Go ahead, shoot. I wear my bulletproof vest. These kids want to take the flat, or don't you?
Well, we'll think about it.
Hey, do that and you're too late, okay?
Sergeant. Take them downstairs. We'll be down in a moment.
You've been abroad?
Yes. Back home to Cyprus. You know, my old mother, she's not so well. Just flew in again, okay?
You left the day your tenant was killed, or should I say your boss?
Oh, it was a great shock. Hey, look, Stavros was not like tenant or boss. Just a very old friend, you know. Oh, please sit down.
No, thanks, but you can if you like.
In my own property, you give me permission? That's great, yes?
Mr. Alexio, your dead friend Stavros Voludis has named you as his hatchet man.
Me? Hey, you're crazy. Hey, how can a dead man finger me, huh? Oh, my Jesus, the policemen we are getting these days.
Sit down and shut up.
I've got 2 other murders on my file, apart from Stavros Voludis.
Hey, you saying I killed Stavros?
Not yet. Now, I advise you to answer very carefully. You see, any statement of yours can be checked against your dead boss's records.
Hey, you kid me, eh? You pull my leg off, that's great. Hey, Stavros never kept records. Stavros was the most unorganized man I ever met.
I'm sure he kept the most meticulous records. Why else did you send the boy?
What boy? What do you mean?
David Miller. You sent him to find a computer tape that Stavros kept his records on. Now, what happened to all the profits? That's what we want to know.
Hey, we don't make profit.
2.3 million last year. It's all on the tape.
I'd like to see this make-believe tape.
We'll arrange a viewing, don't you worry.
Hey, you talk fairy tale. Look, I send no one and I know nothing.
You're blown, Mr. Alexio. Now, what happened to all the money?
I never seen no money.
Is that why you killed your boss?
Hey, me kill Stavros? You crazy, I tell you.
What about the girl?
Oh, Ingrid?
Yes.
Hey, what a fool Stavros was about her. I told him so many times. Look, I didn't kill him and I don't know who did either. But I'll help you with her, okay?
Why?
We make a deal.
I don't make deals. Now, why did Stavros make a fool of himself with her?
Oh, she had him wrapped around her little finger.
Oh, he was in love with her?
No. It was Terra.
Terra?
That's right.
In which Stavros was afraid of her?
Oh, no.
Tell it straight.
Ingrid who?
Look, why you no make deal if I play game?
I'm not allowed to, you know that.
It's crazy. Okay. I only ever met Ingrid Graham maybe 3 times, if that.
You've cancelled the meeting.
I had to. I wasn't ready. I am sorry, but this whole business with the auditors has got me in such a state. I need another week to prepare my accounts. I've asked the bank to send me a copy of all my bank statements.
I see. In my view, you should seriously consider resigning, Miss Liddell.
Resign?
Yes.
When would I go?
Before things get worse.
Is that an offer or an order, Sir Reynolds?
It is my serious suggestion, Miss Liddell. I should have thought you would prefer to leave St. Mary's discreetly by resigning. Voluntary, if you stay, we'd have to follow the investigation through. I'm afraid we shan't be able to spare you.
But I need to earn my living. Where else could I possibly get anything suitable at my age? I have given 20 years to St. Mary's, body and soul.
All the more reason not to spoil things now.
But they are spoiled, aren't they? What about my pension?
Well, theoretically, if this accounts problem is not resolved, you sacrifice your right to a pension. However, I'll see what I could do.
What you're really saying is that either way I'm fired.
No, that's nonsense. I'm trying to help you. Pity you have to be emotional about it.
Oh, really? Is it? Couldn't expect you to understand my feelings. I've run this place with firmness and discipline, but I've made it my business to get to know every girl individually. They write to me, ask my advice. I sit up half the night sometimes answering their letters. I'd never spared myself. And now you want to throw me out for a petty misunderstanding.
I wish I could say it like that.
No. If you want me to leave, you're going to have to force me out. I was brought up to face every awkwardness, and I'm not going to run away now.
Do think it over, Miss Liddell, please.
Come on, the name of your informant. Oh, but I don't really need to ask, do I? It's Sally Jupp. Why else did you beg me to give her precedence over every other name on the waiting list?
Try and be calmer.
Oh, God, it's all so obvious. I liked Sally. Even I was taken in. That girl has made a fool of me, and so have you.
I think you will have to resign, Miss Liddell.
To suit you? Perhaps I could tell a few tales, too. Oh, Sally confided in me, too, you know. Perhaps you didn't think she would, but she did.
You're talking nonsense.
I shall fight you.
I think you should be very careful. about what you say.
I'm sure Special Branch have me on their file. They question me from time to time. God knows why. I'm a teacher and author, and not an activist.
Yes, I've read the file. You were a close friend of Stavros Voulidis.
Yes. I was shocked when I heard of his death.
Miss Graham has nothing to do with his death.
We also found records of financial transactions between you and him.
Yes, sometimes I acted as his banker. That's all. He asked me to keep money in my account for him. I was his friend, and he trusted me.
And didn't it surprise you that a man working as a packer in a book club had such large sums of money?
I didn't ask questions. I didn't want to know. Stavros asked me to do him a favor, and I agreed. That was all.
And then how do you account for these photographs, John? We found them in his flat.
Stavros attended our study sessions. These were taken after one of them. Look, this is an open house. We welcome anyone who is genuinely interested. Even you, Superintendent. Monday evenings, 8 o'clock, it's nothing secret. I publish my political and economic theories. They're fairly well known.
You've also been linked with a number of terrorist groups.
In your files, perhaps, yes. If I had terrorist connections, I'd be under arrest. And anyway, I'm not responsible for everyone who studies my writings. Many people read my articles.
Who are you?
My name is Marcos.
Marcos Iturralde?
Now look, say what you got to say to Ingrid, okay? Or get out. She doesn't have to answer your questions.
Mr. Iturralde.
Now look!
Do you want to be held for questioning? It can be arranged.
This is worse than Spain.
All right, Marcos.
You knew a man called Elliot.
Who?
Peter Elliot. He also attended your study sessions here, and like Voulidis, was murdered.
Peter, yes, I do remember him now. I didn't know he was dead.
Tell me, did he meet Voulidis here?
I don't remember, but it is possible.
Did you know Stavros Voulidis?
Not well. I didn't like his treatment of Miss Graham. Huh? It was all over between them when I met her the first time. But still, she used to worry about him. She said to me, Stavros is getting into some sort of trouble, but he won't confide in me, so what can I do? I tell her it isn't her business anymore. And then Stavros gets killed and she cries the whole night.
The money you banked for him, how much of it was channeled to political activities?
I have no idea.
What are your connections with Greece?
None, in the sense you imply. Only friends.
John? After leaving university, you went to live in Greece. You were there 2 years. You taught English, you wrote articles, and you made contact with a group called the Greek Freedom Fighters.
I made contact with many different people. Landowners, peasants, officials.
Did you ever visit the place where Voulidis worked?
Yes, of course I did.
Did you?
Why should I do that?
I can think of a number of reasons. You're still wanted in Spain for the murder of a civil guard.
I was never charged.
Sorry. The fact remains, Mummy, that Sally was trying to help.
She should have come directly to me. Phoning you behind my back.
All right, perhaps she should have come to you first. But she was only doing what she thought best. Anyone would think she committed a crime.
Deborah tells me you think we aren't good enough as nurses. Any of us.
I was only surprised that Daddy's secret store of pills hadn't been found sooner, that's all.
She said you were very self-righteous.
I was thinking of Daddy. I was shocked.
Yes, I suppose you were.
Weren't you shocked? Or did you know about the pills?
I did not know about the pills.
I'm sorry.
If I'd found them, I would have taken them away. I think. I'm not certain. I don't think your father would ever have taken those pills. I think he just wanted them there for reassurance. And you've taken that comfort away from him.
You never come and see me in the kitchen, Dr. Stephen.
I'm sorry, Nan. Mummy and I got talking.
You're a bad lad, that's what you are. Well, we can have a nut after supper. Just so long as that gal ain't in the kitchen.
Still got it in for her. It's a pity. I want you to like her.
Well, you'll go on wanting. Some improve with keeping, others don't. She don't.
She really loathes Sally.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Well, haven't you tried to make her see it's unfair?
I have. My goodness. Well, what does it matter? I don't think Sally cares for us all that much.
She's had a dismal life. If you only knew how she's been treated, how beastly people are. I've never met anyone like her.
I don't really know what she's like. I must go up to Deborah. I've got the fate committee coming in, and I'll come and see your father tomorrow.
Well, can't I come with you?
No, not now. He was rather better. Now he's gone down again.
Well, you're not blaming me.
No, of course not. I blame myself. I had him out too long today in the garden. He was noticing so many things. Things that he'd become indifferent to just lately.
Hello.
We've been giving Daddy the solution you prescribed instead of the pills.
Good.
I sort of hoped that...
What?
No. An asked-for apology isn't worth much. As a matter of fact, I'm not jealous of Sally.
Okay. I didn't mean to say it. Well, I do regret saying it, Debs, all right?
I hope so. I'll see.
What do you mean?
Well, part of me wants to say, yeah, fine, forget it. But will I forget it? I don't know yet, do I?
You're getting a bit complicated.
People do when they grow up. See you later.
I rang Lionel Jefferson yesterday.
Yes?
Why didn't you tell me he's advised us to sell the house? He was as surprised as I was that you hadn't let me know.
How you can contemplate our selling with Daddy still alive, I don't know. If he found out, it'd kill him.
Have you told Mummy?
Of course not. It would kill her, too.
We have to be prepared.
Oh, yes. You're a real Boy Scout.
You took your time getting here. I said 4:30 sharp.
Had to do some shopping on the way.
No consideration for others, none at all. Let alone gratitude. Not that I expect gratitude.
You all right, Miss Liddell?
It was you, Sally, wasn't it? While you were here. I trusted you. I let you use my room, borrow my books. Thought you were my friend. How can I have been so stupid?
I don't understand. Are you telling me off for something? What? What did I do? You said it was important, so I came. Well, I didn't have to, did I? After all, I'm not at St. Mary's anymore, am I?
Because of me, Sally. If it hadn't been for me, you still would be at St. Mary's.
All right. But getting me a temporary job as a home help doesn't make me indebted to you for life. Well, does it?
Oh, yes, it was you. That is the voice of an enemy speaking. You, Sally.
I better go.
You told Sir Reynolds. Well, somebody must have told him, and he'd have asked that somebody for proof. You knew I kept the key to my desk in the top drawer.
I never touched your desk. You saying I'm a thief? What did I take?
Much worse, a spy.
You're off your head.
Why else did he call in the auditors? Why else did I have to face the committee? Yes, it was you, Sally Jupp. You abused my trust. I'm sure you get on very well with Sir Reynolds. You're just his type. He'd believe everything you say.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The expenses. My expenses. As if I would line my own pocket.
It was I who was out of pocket.
Fiddle the account.
Don't say that to me. That's what you told Sir Reynold. Me? At the mercy of a common little piece like you.
Who are you to despise me? You condescending old bag. I wish I had found your lousy accounts. I wish I had done what you think. That'd have served you right. Only I didn't. So don't you say I did. And if you do, you watch out. All right? All right? You watch out.
Well, all we have to do now is to touch wood and hope all goes well.
I've never known a church fete not go well unless it's washed out by the weather.
The rain usually helps the beer tent, mind you. Well, I think we've covered everything pretty well. After all, with God and the Women's Institute on our side, we've got to be unbeatable, wouldn't you say?
I'm not surprised Miss Liddell excused herself this evening, but will she be with us tomorrow, I wonder?
Oh, she'll come to the fete. She always supervises the St. Mary's stall. I just hope those accounts aren't preying on her mind.
You still assume she's just been incompetent, nothing worse?
Yes, that's what I do assume.
So everybody likes you, Eleanor. You see the best in us all.
Don't you believe it?
Cheerio, Mrs. Maxim.
Oh, goodbye.
What puzzles me is, what has she done with the money?
That's the Fate Committee dismissed.
All forces to their start lines.
Well, you're going into your old Colonel act.
Hold on. Only ever got the Major, you know. Eleanor, lovely to see you. Thanks for the invitation.
Oh, you invited yourself.
Of course. All for love of your daughter, and you, of course. How's Simon?
He was better. Now he's gone back again.
I'll just get my bag.
I'm afraid Catherine's got your favourite room, but at least you'll have plenty of space to move around in here. In fact, my darling, not only a choice of beds, but also a bathroom en suite. And not, I'm afraid, any towels. Nor, for that matter, anything else, as far as I can see. Never mind, I'll bring some up. Not a problem.
Will you marry me?
What?
Will you marry me?
Oh, Felix. I'll need some time to think about that.
You said to try a formal proposal. Now I have. Still Edward?
Partly, yes.
Well, I could live with that. Your memory of him. I'm not asking you to rewrite history. Just marry me. As you are. As I am. Well, you've got a weekend. 36 hours. Any longer than that, you'll be out on your ear, right?
Right.
And now kiss me. And that's an order.
Excuse me.
You should have knocked, Sally.
The door was open. Mrs. Maxey asked me to bring these.
Oh, I see. Felix, this is Sally. Mr. Hurst, Miss Jupp.
How do you do?
Very well, thank you.
Oh, I'll take these.
Well?
What?
Well, she makes Stephen wobble at the knees. I wondered about you. Her effect on you.
Marginal.
No, she's wonderful. Glad you believe my luck. She actually listens to me.
So when's the wedding?
Well, I haven't asked her yet.
What? Thank you. You've known her for, what, 4 weeks and you haven't asked her?
3 weeks only. I'm absolutely convinced she's the one. I'm going to ask her on Sunday. I shan't take no for an answer.
I begin to feel sorry for her.
She could do a great deal better, I agree.
Never. I hope she says yes. Dalglish. Oh, Mr. Welsh. Yes. Well, thank you. No, I do understand. Thanks very much. Mr. Welsh is constructing his own key. Now, Don't ask me what that means, but apparently micros combust databanks in any language, he says.
Bully for Mr. Welch.
Basque. Is the key to the code Marcus Iturraldi?
Could be. You'd have cracked if we kept at him.
We couldn't justify holding him, John, you know that.
Sure. Anyway, we can stop theorising about Voludis now. Just wait for Welsh to come back with the results.
Yes. We know that Voludis was not only a drug king, but was using the money to finance other activities. Now, his hatchet man, Nicky Alexiou, resented this funding of political causes. I mean, considered it was throwing money down the drain.
Well, being just a straight villain.
Yes. Would that be reason enough for him to kill his boss?
Perhaps Sally Jupp did see Nicky on the stairs.
And I was too scared to say so. Well, she's a puzzle too. I mean, does she fit in or not? You'd expect her to carry on with a job at the book club here, not give up everything and rush off to Suffolk to some hostel for unmarried mums, would you?
By the way, I checked on Sir Reynolds. He is on file. Do you want to see that?
Soon. I'm still thinking about this, John.
If Sally Jupp is hiding something or protecting someone, it could be to do with the baby. I mean, could Sir Reynolds be the father?
Well, we'll see. She certainly made a big secret of the baby's paternity. And if someone had let her down, a married man, say, she isn't the sort to keep quiet about it. Unless, of course, she has something more to hide. Some other better reason for going to Chadfleet.
Better go up and see her again.
Who's got money like that, Sal?
You must have some savings.
Well, I got 42 quid tucked away somewhere, that's all.
Got to get away. Couldn't you ask your mum, Derek? Go on, surely.
Mum? She could walk the wall out the other side. Anyway, Venezuela.
That's my business, isn't it?
Now listen.
Shh. You're nice. So nice, Derek. You'd help, wouldn't you? Come on. Ask your mum.
Well, yeah, if I could, but I can't, no. Except for that 42 quid, you can have that any time. Oh, Sally, what is it? I mean, what's all this
Nothing,
here?
it's... Well, you're my only friend in Chadfleet.
What about Annie and Rosie at the refuge?
I couldn't ask them.
I want you to go all that way.
I know what I need to do, Derek.
Sorry. Upset you, ain't I? What I'd like... Oh, I wish I could help you, Sally, really, I do.
Of course you do. Don't worry. I'll find a way. I must go. Serve Mrs. Bloody Maxie her bloody dinner, not to mention her bloody daughter.
You really hate them, Sal?
I don't feel anything. Half the time.
Hello? Oh, yes. Yes, I know. Just a minute. My hubby's upstairs. Victor! Victor!
What?
It's Miss Liddell.
Who?
Miss Liddell from St Mary's Refuge. Wants a word with you. He's just coming, Miss Liddell.